Hey, this is Zod from the Zod Drea Podcast, recording for SOS, Save Our Schools, Arizona, and we are at the Red for Ed rally over at the state capitol in Phoenix, Arizona. Now, as you can see, everybody here is protesting and making sure they're fighting for education, especially public education, as well as the salaries for the teachers. Let's ask a few people what they think, and let's get into it. Okay, you are now watching the Zod Drea Podcast. Hi, what's your name?
Melanie Malin. I'm with the Kyrene School District.
All right, are you a teacher?
Yes, I teach 4th grade.
All right, so what does this event make you feel?
A lot of emotions. This is my 10th year teaching 4th grade, and I still make the same amount of money that I did 10 years ago, and I still make the same amount of money as a first-year teacher. First-year teachers in our district make the same amount of money as I do. And when I asked the superintendent, she told me that she didn't have a plan for teachers like myself that were frozen, and I'm sure a lot of the people here that were frozen for so many years without a raise, and that she, appreciates my years of service in Kyrene, but they didn't have a plan or money for teachers like me who have been teaching that long. And when you want to be competitive with other districts, you got to raise the pay for teachers. That's the only way to stay competitive. And so I understand with the first-year teachers getting paid what they are, it's still not enough, but for a veteran teacher to make the same amount of money 10 years later just doesn't seem fair.
Now I have to ask you then, because people have to know where your heart is. What makes you keep coming back to teach?
Everybody's response here is going to be the same thing, and that's the kids. We're all here for the kids. I live and breathe and do everything for my students so that they can be successful, and that means spending my own pocket money. That means being at schools on the weekends and being at school after hours. It means taking professional development during the summers, but we always do it for the same reason, it's for the kids, or else we wouldn't be here.
So then do you feel that Governor Ducey or anybody in charge is pretty much taking advantage of you?
They have been for a very long time here in Arizona. It's not fair for the teachers. It's not fair to our students. We should not be 50th in the amount of money that we pay per pupil, and we should not be 50th in the amount of money that we pay our teachers. So it's not okay. Arizona can't be 50th anymore. We need to be first, not 50th, and that means putting our kids first.
And now seeing the sea of red, I want to know just emotionally, how does this make you feel inside?
Well, inside, we're all red. That means with our hearts, that means with the anger that we have for nothing being done at this point. So the perfect color is red, because red is the passion we have with our hearts. Red is the anger that we feel. And red is what we're standing for, and red for education and red for ed is what we are here for today.
All right, what is your name?
I am Melinda A.
And what is your role here?
I am Legislative Liaison for Save Our Schools, Arizona.
All right, Save Our Schools. Now, what does Save Our Schools' role have to do with today?
So we formed to oppose a school voucher expansion, which takes money directly from the public school system and moves it into private schools. So it's just one more scheme that pulls money out of our public schools. And we came down here to testify, and we emailed, we called, we met with lawmakers, and we were insulted and not listened to. And so our next step was to run a referendum on the school voucher bill that was passed. And it's, from the days of having just 10 people sitting in a committee hearing or in the House gallery, watching as bills were passed, it's really encouraging to see all this happening today.
Now, obviously, you helped very much what's happening today, and this one's about teacher pay. So what would you like for the teachers to get, out of this rally?
So I think that the first thing is for the teacher to realize that there's strength in numbers, which, I think anybody looking around will see that, but just to realize that they're not alone, and to drive their energy all the way to the ballot box. Agitate for change, be talking to their lawmakers, and then if their lawmakers don't want to make change, maybe some of these people would carry some petitions and help make their own change.
It's true. Now, if Doug Ducey was in front of you right now, what is it you'd want to say to him?
Well, we've been asking from the beginning to meet with Governor Ducey. We want a seat at the table. We want to be part of making these solutions. It takes everybody, and just an offer to meet.
Okay, so lastly, what is it you want everybody here who is witnessing this video to get out of today's march?
Teachers are fundamental to our way of life. A strong public school system means strong property values. It means a strong future workforce. And it's our way of life. It's our quality of life. Everything depends on our public schools. And we have to invest in our future.
Red for egg! 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 Red for egg!
Hi, what's your name?
Theresa R.
And what brings you here?
I'm a high school teacher. I've been teaching in Mesa Public Schools for 28 years, and I'm frustrated with the lack of funding for education, the size of our classrooms, and the fact that the state's willing to give our money away to private and parochial schools.
This is awesome. Now, obviously, this is a great event. Everybody is dressed in red. Can you tell me, in your opinion, what it is that you feel the government is lacking on action that you feel they should be able to do better?
I really feel like they need to realize that these kids that are in our classrooms are the future of Arizona. They're the future employers, they're the future employees. And if we don't give them a good education and fund their education, we're going to lose them. We're going to lose them to other states. We're going to lose businesses to other states because we're not funding our public school system.
Now, as a teacher, I'm sure you know that a lot of supplies have to come out of your pocket, and they don't pay you enough because we're like last in the country for teacher pay. Do you find that there's going to be hope in November when these students finally turn 18 and are able to vote?
I believe these students are going to turn around the election. I'm a strong supporter of one of our gubernatorial candidates. I believe he's going to change things when we put him on office. And yeah, these students, I mean, these 18-year-olds, they've been in an underfunded school system their entire educational career. I spent last year over $600 on my classroom. And I've got high school kids. Those poor elementary teachers, they spend way more than that.
So if you had one thing that you can say to Doug Ducey, what would it be?
Support public education. Stop supporting private schools and Brophy, where your kids go. And we need public schools funded, not private and parochial. I'm a product of parochial education. I graduated from Seton High School in Chandler. I paid for my tuition and my parents did. The government didn't. And if you want your kids in parochial school, then pay the tuition.
All right, well, thank you for your opinion, and get out there marching.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
Hi, what's your name?
Nancy Randolph.
All right, Nancy, and what brings you here today?
Well, I'm here to let the governor know and our legislators know that we do care. It does matter. This is important. It's an issue that needs to be handled now.
And obviously that's about teacher pay, as well as other things such as private schools, getting funding from public schools and things like that. So what is your biggest issue right now?
My biggest issue is that it is insane, the rhetoric they use, the logic they're using, because businesses don't come to this state just for tax incentives. They are looking for a quality educated workforce. They're looking for a quality of life for their mid-level management. It just doesn't make any sense to be 50th in education, because we are losing opportunities to bring jobs and bring business to our state by not genuinely honoring our education.
And what is it you felt that SOS did that was beneficial to teachers?
I love the way the organizing has happened, and you've reached out on all different forms of media, and the word has spread. And we even had a parent supporting today who painted up their car, and it's great to see all the support from the community and to get teachers together and make us feel empowered, because we really do have power here. We just don't know it often enough.
Now, if you had Doug Ducey in front of you right now, what do you think you'd be able to say to him?
I'd say pay attention. Governor Ducey, pay attention. Pay attention to the Better Business Bureau. Pay attention to your voters, your constituents. Pay attention and actually do some of the things that you have said you're doing, which you're not. So what I need you to do is actually put up or shut up. Talk is cheap. Make things happen for us now. Our funding is pathetic.
And what do you hope all of these people gathering today will show the world?
I hope that it will show them that we are serious, that there is power in numbers, and that you can make a difference. Each one person here is one small thing, but a small thing is not nothing, and we've shown it because this is not nothing. So we just need to keep at it, not lose the momentum, and I think that we can use our vote, vote out the rhetoric, vote in action. We can do that. Register the vote, show up at the polls.